Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's been quite a very long time since I've streamed here in this room. No! First the bunny, then Pixie. But it's okay. But it's okay. Cause we on vacation. So tonight we are gonna do complex variables. Yo, Sajida Bari, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Actually, you said salam wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. How is it going? All right. Last homework, I gotta be honest, I only remembered it 20 minutes before it was due, so that was not good. Just opening it up for a little bit. I have 1 hour to do this, by the way. Whew, that's Hasbunallah. Where's your other cats? So Pixie was here until my sister came in. She was cleaning, so it's good. But the plastic bag scared her. Let's see if I can do this before it's due. I can, inshallah. It's just just need a couple moments to open it up. I love your beautiful room. Thank you. Thank you so much. I work really hard to keep it clean and to maintain it all the time. Okay. So first thing first, homework 7. So the first question is probably problem 213.3. So this one is how to find the largest open set U on which the function is f of z equals the cube root of z minus 1 plus the fourth root of iz. I don't know what the fourth root is called, but you should attempt. Okay. So the largest open set U is where this function here is analytic using the principal branches of the root functions. And you have to sketch the picture of U and then compute the derivative. So how do we do that? So the key idea is you need to use the principal square root, right? Like I said. And then you cut the branch cut along the negative real axis. So let's see. If the branch cut of the principal root, so you're looking at this one right here, right? So right here, the branch cut where z minus 1 is the negative real axis. And then as for I, it's the same thing. Because you're using natural numbers, but z is where the I is outside. So it's the positive imaginary axis. Hmm. This one you're dividing by I, right? So you could get z by itself. Because we're looking at iz by itself, right? But when you divide by I, well, that means you're gonna get infinity if you're dividing by a small number. Even if, well, that doesn't make sense. Yo, Eric Scott, welcome to the stream. Sorry, I didn't see you there. How's it going? Are you studying math? Yes, yes, yes. This is complex variables. And welcome, Kayla, Assalamualaikum. Actually, you're not Muslim, but hello. I don't have that much time to do this at like 1 hour, but we're gonna take it step by step, anyways. But let me see how many questions I have. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 questions, not bad, not bad. Normally it's like 5 billion, so 8 is not bad. So then U is equal to C, complex variables minus this thing right here. So we have this set that we just got here. How's your day been going, guys? You here for 1 hour? I think I have more than 1 hour, just cause like what's it called? Unless my mom comes here to sleep, cause I've been sleeping all day. Like I have this like you know like I mentioned it in my post. Like I got this eye infection, right? And the doctor just said to keep on using warm compress on my eyes. And every single time that I use warm compress, I fall asleep so fast, even if I'm not even sleepy, bro. So that's just how it's been the whole day. A horizontal cut ending at 1. Okay, so how do we sketch this? Sorry, I forgot what I was even saying. But yeah, after this, I'm gonna probably watch some lectures for my other class, MATLAB, or I'll read some of the, the couple books that I read every morning. I'll continue from there. I have a lot I want to do, but first we gotta get through this, inshallah. So shader taking the real axis from negative infinity up to 1. Negative real axis. So you have up to 1, right? That's this part right here. And then going from 0 to positive infinity. Second cut is the positive imaginary axis, starting at 0, including 0. So, like that. And then the domain is you, everything except those two rays. Supposed to be dashed, right? I think. My bad. Should I study too? Yeah. You should study for the NEET exam, bro. It's coming up real fast, right? When is your exam? 2.14.2. Show that the complex sine and cosine function satisfy the cofunction identities for all z. Okay, so we're gonna use the definitions. Um, NEET is considered one of the toughest exams in India, and it's very difficult to clear. You usually need at least 600 out of 720 to secure a seat in an MBBS college. Exam on 3rd May. Whoa, that is so close. That's like less than 2 months away. It's like April and then May. It's like 10. It's like 40 days away, bro. Dang. Good luck. But you know what? You study a lot too, so I have faith that you'll get it, inshallah. I have this thing called the MSA in my school. Muslim Student Association, and they open up like board spots so like you could join. And I feel like I'm supposed to join just because like I've benefited from that club so much, but I also feel really guilty. Like I know I probably should give back to them, like help out instead of just joining for the fun and not helping. But I don't know, like I probably won't be free enough for that, especially in like towards the end of your time there. But it would be fun, I think. I know that if I were like a board member, I'd be so friendly to everybody. It includes 3 subjects: biology, physics, chemistry, and I hate physics. Yo, me too. I saw a physics edit. It was so fun. It was so nice. I would share it, but I don't have time right now. Now I'm good at bio and chem, but physics is not good. So my main focus is physics. Yeah, bio and chem is more easy than physics for me as well. I don't know why physics is just because they say like physics is fun, but whoever says that, they probably had a really good person to teach them. Yeah, hope physics makes sense to you. It's so like it looks like familiar, but it's nothing I'm familiar with. It just looks familiar because I know phi and other terms they use in physics because of what's called calculus 3. It's a lot like physics, but yeah, it's just really hard. Pixie wants to study too. That's Yuki, bro. Pixie went behind the bed. She got scared. But he's so cuddly. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just like, gotta do homework, bro. Alright, we're done. Question 2. What is the toughest exam in your country? Probably MCAT, I'd say. But that's the only one I'm familiar with. Like, because my friend had to take it. So it's like, it's for med school as well. There are probably other hard exams too. Because I've heard like 8-hour exams for like engineering. And then other ones. The hardest one I've had to take keeps updating, bro. It's like the last one and the last one. The principal value of the inverse tangent function is PV times arctan z equals to I over 2 log principal log of I plus z over I minus z. So identify the largest open set U on which the function is analytic, sketch the picture, and prove that that is that. Yo, I didn't even find the derivative of that one. The 2.13.3. Ew, he's drooled. Did you really drool on my thing? Oh my god, look at that. Man, I don't even wipe with this. Is that drool or snot? I don't even know, bro. Who wants to sleep like this? What about MIT? MIT's a test? I thought that was like a university, bro. MIT? Is that like the entrance exam for that place? What's the toughest exam? I don't know. I'm very unfamiliar with the real world like that. He got offended that I moved my hand. Like, you don't have to leave the whole stream, bro. Just thinking about it. Yuki. Okay. I do not have any time to dilly-dally, bro. I gotta go. Mm. Mm. Cat, please, cat. I want to see cat. Okay, fine. He's being so bad though. Hello, tweet, tweet, tweet. Welcome back. I love your name. It's like for birds. The only condition he wants to be on the stream is that I pet him the whole time. She's studying. Yeah. He still wants to leave, bro. Right here we're using the quotient rule. And then I'll get this. Mm. Right, third question done. We have about 39 minutes left, or 38 actually. Five questions in 38 minutes. Oh dear. My math is not mathing. Let me cry. I was using the wrong formula. No! I gotta charge my phone. Me too, to be honest. Did you hear Yuki? Yuki? Okay, fine, fine, fine. Bro, there's a question. We have to make your own formula to solve a numerical. It's getting hard. Oh my gosh. How do you make your own formula, bro? And welcome to the stream, Ansh Vlogging. How's it going? Do you know anything about surface tension? Only that bugs can walk over it, over water because of that. Hello, she muted? No, sorry, Tofu. I was just very locked in. Yeah, welcome to the stream, Tofu. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Actually, no, you said sorry, I turn off auto translate, but it still does that auto translation. So, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's it going? How's your sports, your football? It's probably easier after Ramadan, huh? have like a really close deadline. That's why like I'm very locked in. I mean, talking to you, I love that. Read a book is stressful. I know. I'm gonna read after this. Don't worry, inshallah. I'm done with my physics. Yo, awesome, Ariska. Proud of you. Someone's gonna come in, bro. Okay. I know she's gonna say awesome. What do you say when someone finishes their physics? Possum? Well, Possum's not here. Or no, that was not her name. Meowsome, right? Bro, I forgot. Hilarious. Awesome. Oh, this one looks sad. Just awesome. If I were reading, I would have said awesome. But I'm in the trenches right now. So a little bit of sabr, and I'll get out of the trenches, inshallah. Alrighty, I think we're done. And oh my gosh, welcome to the stream, Kai. Assalamu alaikum. Get a life. Heli blood. Oh my gosh, that's so rude. Don't ever say that to anybody. Alright. Thank you for deleting that tofu. I'm gonna submit this now. It's gonna take a couple minutes, inshallah. But when I'm back, we can start reading. And finally, I'll be done. I mean, not done, but like, finally I could do what I actually want, which is to read. Okay? Okay, we are done. Finally. Yo, I deserve a chocolate for that, bro. All y'all deserve a chocolate for sticking with me through that whole hour of suffering. Let me bring Yuki over back. Alright, finally. Yep, the mountain is you. That's kind of an insult, though. It's like, you're calling me fat like a mountain? But mountains are so cute, bro. There's like Sahih Hadith that Mount Uhud loves you. If you ever feel like the whole world hates you, and if they really do, think about Mount Uhud. I prefer Muhammad Asif, World Changer. Muhammad the World Changer. I see. Yeah. It's very interesting, both the books. I forgot where it stopped, though. Like, there ain't no bookmarks, there ain't no... Well, today is a Monday. So it stopped at page 77, I guess. Okay. Okay, so there's a bookmark. I just didn't see it. Yuki, you're not gonna drool on my book, bro. Not this time. Yuki, no! He never used to do this before. He'd actually just chillax in the bag. It'd be cozy like that. How am I supposed to read if you're gonna sit on my book, bro? Which exam? Welcome to the stream, a real man. This ain't for an exam, it's just for myself. Oh, you mean the title? Okay, so that's for complex variables. Alright. Bring Luca. He's in my sister's room. I think he would be more nice, but yeah. It's fine. We could start here. Inshallah. Alright, so after the dynamism of cosmopolitan Damascus, home felt oppressive. Mecca's physical confinement, geographically squeezed by 4 mountains that trapped extreme heat and stunted plant growth, mirrored the backwater town's stultifying dreariness. Muhammad would later liken Mecca's inertia to a ribcage crushed by external weight. A few months later, Muhammad asked his uncle, if he could join the annual winter caravan south to Yemen to purchase goods that the caravan would transport to Damascus in the summer. Abu Talib agreed. The Yemenites differed from their Central Arabian cousins in one significant way. Paganism had mostly given way to monotheism. Though Muhammad found the language and culture generally familiar, he found a land with a large Jewish population and a significant Christian minority. The people, as he would later praise them, were sincere, sophisticated, dependable, and good-hearted. I think these are the people of Mecca that he's talking about. No, this is the Yemenites. Okay, so by the time he returned to Mecca, Muhammad had lost patience with the pagan rites that dominated the city. Of Mecca's 14 major clans, only one, the Banu al-Harith, was Jewish. To be sure, Meccans were hardly fanatics. Their devotion to maintaining the system of idolatry was driven more by the desire to preserve traditions than by deep commitment. Religious practice remained mostly casual, with no formal pressure to participate in worship. Nonetheless, Muhammad's contemporaries noticed that he never took part, later remarking, "We never saw Muhammad offer sacrifices at altars, participate in religious rituals, consult a priest, or wear an amulet." Muhammad also eschewed alcohol, noting how intoxication led to ridiculous behavior. As a 12-year-old, he was shocked to learn that the curator of Darul Nadwa had sold a building entrusted to his care for a mere flask of wine while in a drunken stupor. Compared with most Meccans, Muhammad was modest. After flash floods damaged the Kaaba, he assisted with repair efforts. Most of the workmen removed their loincloths and placed them on their shoulders to transport bricks without scraping their skin. When Abu Talib suggested he do the same, Muhammad fainted. Yo, subhanallah. He's so modest, especially for a guy, bro. Like, it would make sense if a girl were shy, because, I don't know, like, we naturally are more shy, but for a guy, like, it's okay if you, like, I don't know, show your upper half of your body, but, like, yeah, the loincloth especially, it's like, he was really modest. What is this emoji? Oh my god, bro. I don't know, man. They're just trying to be, I don't know the word. It's like, nice to everybody. That's not the word, nice. But, I don't know. It's not. That's not even real. Hello, Ghosted 818665. Welcome to the stream. You're this guy, Dracula. Maybe he ate too much. I never knew Eris, OMG. You never knew what? A man is pregnant, OMG. Oh no, you're... Everyone hated my song. Oh, that's true. Maybe he did eat too much. We gotta have Husn al-Dhan. Assalamualaikum. Okay. So, as a child, Muhammad mostly did odd jobs to help contribute to his uncle's household. Finances were often tight, and Muhammad constituted an extra mouth to feed. In the fall and spring, between caravan seasons, Muhammad worked as a shepherd. He awoke before dawn to take his employer's herd out to pasture. Trained by his uncle Hamza, Muhammad soon became a skilled archer, a necessity when wolves, lions, hyenas, eagles, and other predators regularly attempted to attack his flock. The cost of any lost animal would be deducted from his wages. As a shepherd, Muhammad led the flock from hill to hill, scouting for the best grazing grounds. He kept an eye out for plants and herbs harmful to his sheep and collected those that made good brews and medicines. And he learned how to anticipate the behavior of predatory animals and birds of prey. He carried a staff with his lunch tied to the top to guide the flock and ward off wolves. Several sheepdogs accompanied him, and he admired them as loyal guardians, reflected in a Quranic verse, 1822, the honors of a particular dog by mentioning it 3 times to underline its value as a devoted companion. What is that Quran verse, though? Can someone search up 1822 of the Quran? Regulus Colenius is locked on Jews' basement. Who even is that, bro? Like, who do I have in my basement? Hello, I'm not Manido. Welcome back to the stream. I'm not Manido. Lucas Pocus Locus Comus. I give it every day. Tell Irene Kia to bring him. Oh dear. She should be in the stream right now. I don't know where she is. Probably taking a shower. But yeah, has anyone searched up 1822 for the Surat al-Kahf? Oh, okay. So in Surat al-Kahf, the dog, we know that dog is blessed because he took care of the people of the cave, right? That was only one dog that enters Jannah that we know of. You know, they're loyal guardians for that reason. Anyway, so while camel guides had to be tough with their stubborn beasts, shepherding taught Muhammad how to lead with gentleness. According to Muslim tradition, all prophets needed to serve as shepherds. Herding sheep taught prophets to be patience, responsibility, safeguarding, and how to guide with action rather than words. Muhammad would later tell his followers, "Kullukum ra'i," you are each shepherds in your own way, and observe that gentle conduct yields positive outcomes, harsh conduct's the opposite. A lot of parents need to know this. Not my parents. Well, not my mom. Because she's more gentle, alhamdulillah. But I'm just saying, in general, people who are responsible for the youth, they are more harsh than they are gentle. Like, and even your own peers, like, if you have somebody who's, I don't know, going off the path, and you want to bring them back to the path of Islam, you have to be gentle with them. You have to give them time. Like, I think sometimes I'm too gentle just because, like, I don't know, I feel like I could be more stern. But in pursuit of trying to keep them within proximity, not to make them go further away from me, I tend to, like, compromise a lot too much. Like, I'd be dealing with things that normally I would not be okay with. Like, people saying things about Islam. I'd be like, yeah, you can see it that way, but if it makes you uncomfortable, we don't have to talk about Islam. Like, I wouldn't even delve into that conversation if somebody's being a little bit, negative. She's not reading Quran. Yeah, it's not Quran, bro. I already read the Quran translation if you want to look at that, though. I have, like, old streams, but this is just a regular book I got from a Islamic book. Not Islamic, a non-Muslim bookstore. So this is kind of like an Islamic book for the non-Muslims. Which is so weird, because some of them are not even sahih. Some of these things written in here. Because tell me why in that page that I was laughing so much at, of the guy who's like, bring him to me in a raspy voice, because I was like, that's like me, for real. Like, they were saying one person took him seriously, which was a 12-year-old named Khadija. But if he were alive, the Prophet said, Khadija radiallahu anhu would have to be at least, 15 years old. No, but if he was like 10 years old, she'd be at least 35. Because there was an age gap, right? She was 40 and he was 25 when they got married. So she could not have been 12 years old. That's so weird. But then again, I'm not so sure if 40 years old is sahih myself. Last I heard that neat paper was leaked or something. Ooh, that'd be nice. If you could get all the answers that way. Spanish. I have 99 oranges in my basement. Ooh. They're all gonna get rotten, though. You're always too gentle, sometimes sassy with guests, not guys, only to me. Oh. I don't know. Like, I'm usually gentle, but if I'm being a little sassy, it's like, it's kind of making a boundary, Assalamu alaikum and Eid Mubarak to all of you. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the stream, Abdul Khaliq, and Eid Mubarak to you as well. Sorry for the late, the late notice for you. It's probably not even an Eid anymore. I mean, it is not an Eid anymore. But yeah. Alright, let's continue, inshallah. Before returning to town at dusk, Muhammad took his flock to the nearby wells of Hudaybiyah. Like most of Arabia's wells, access to the water was regulated by a pact called an ummah, an Arabic term that describes a force attracting element like a magnet drawing in metallic objects. A water's holes ummah agreement stipulated with different herders could bring their animals to drink, avoiding chaos and deline, delineating a shared understanding for how to divide a collective resource. A well guardian called a warid, water manager, was carved with a carved staff directed access to the water in an orderly manner. As Muhammad waited for his turn, he observed that people embraced the Ummah system because it yielded a beneficial outcome. Is Dre reading The Sealed Nectar? It's not The Sealed Nectar. I already finished that book. This is called Muhammad the World Changer. It's a book that I bought like so many years ago. Like, I think 4 or 5 years ago. But I've never read it. So this is a perfect opportunity to read it. I don't really like it that much though. It's like, I don't know. But we're still gonna finish, obviously. No, she finished it. I know there's some crazy age gaps in Sam from what I've heard though, but still weird. Hello, I didn't see you before. Welcome to the stream. Quandavius Shaquarius Jamarius. Well, actually, that sounds kind of familiar. Were you here before? But yeah, welcome back if you were here before. But yeah, age gaps don't matter in Islam, bro. Like, my parents are 12 years apart, so not that I would ever marry someone younger than me. I feel like it's more common that the woman side is younger than the man side. Because, like, a more mature man makes for... But then again, the Prophet ﷺ was younger than Khadija radiallahu anhu, who's the younger person in that marriage. So, it's okay. Whoever's older or younger. Because when you see, like, what's it called? In nature, if you see, like, 2 adult bugs, for example, they don't care what date they were born, bro. As long as they're adults, it's fine. And what's it called? In Islam, the adulthood is determined by your biological maturity. It's not determined by your what's it called? Like when your brain stops developing, that's like 25 years old. Just an example, you know. I like the Sealed Nectar better. Really? I didn't like the Sealed Nectar that much. I mean, it was really interesting, some of them, because there were a lot of stories in the Sealed Nectar that... I was watching this show called O Messenger by Towards Eternity, that YouTube channel, and it was so interesting. I watched it every single day with my mom, even today, and they skipped a lot of stories that I read in the Sealed Nectar. I was like, what about this? What about that? But yeah, it was really nice. Big username. He didn't say he hate Islam. Yeah, he just found it weird, which is... It's normal to find huge age gaps like that weird, because it's not the norm of our today's society. Because, what's it called? Yeah, only recently that became a problem. Back in the days, nobody ever complained about the age gaps, because it was normal to have huge age gaps. Because, why? Because people back in the days, in the, you know, what's it called, the 1400s or something. Was it the 1400s? I'm thinking in Hijra years. 1400. Basically, the average age in the entire world was 33 years old. Not average age, but like the lifespan. So, yeah. The cultural during the time of the Prophet was different from today. Exactly, Abdul Khaliq. That's what I'm trying to say. Or Eris, I love Islam too. Tofu, you have to be... You are Muslim. Nah, I was just going through some annoying Insta comments. It's annoying. It's so annoying how people just say they hate Islam just for the age gap. I know, right? That's not even the main point of Islam. If you want to hate Islam for what it preaches. And it's not... I mean, I'm not saying to hate Islam, but like, if like the core basics of Islam is what you disagree with, then talk about that. Not the side rulings, right? Like, you know, I'll give you a really crazy example. There was this guy who felt really sick, right? And the Prophet ﷺ ordered that he should drink camel urine, because the camel is a blessed creature. That the Quran talks about how the camel is so perfect that, you know, you find any flaws in it. And that even includes the urine, because that's like it's kind of like a benefit for the heat fatigue there. I know it's pretty disgusting, but it's not. It's something in Islam, like sahih, you know. But it's not like you have to chug it, you have to shower in it. No, no, no. It's like, it was made that way. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala made it that way. So, yeah, like you could look down on it or something, but it's still. I forgot what I was trying to say. It's still okay. So that aspect is just one small part of Islam. It's not like a main core of the faith, you know. So you could disagree with that, and Muslims do it all the time. Like we could have doubts, we could have problems with the smaller things, but the main thing, the arkan and Islam, arkan and Iman, these things matter more. Tofu, how can you hate respectfully? I mean, y'all are missing out those good beef dishes. But I don't like Hindu religion, respectfully. I mean, you could use cow, this and that, but not meat. I know, that's not really vegan. Anyways. Okay, so Muhammad added carpentry to his repertoire at age 14. So he's a carpenter as well. I had no idea. He likely acquired tools and basic know-how from his cousins in Yathrib when the caravan passed through the city. You can dislike something but respect it at the same time. No, it's not that way. The Prophet ﷺ told the man to drink camel urine for that specific disease. He didn't suggest to drink it often. Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not like you have to do it too much, but like for that specific disease, it's a lot. You know, most of the time, like you'd think that urine itself is najis, so why would you drink it? But the camel urine is different. All right, there's shifa in it in a to a certain degree for that specific thing. Cow bleep is useful for production of methane gas, and the use of cow dung and urine for human benefit is primarily rooted in traditional practices in India. Yeah, we know that. It's very common in India. So, yeah, if we look at our own religion, it also says to drink urine, so we can't really disrespect other religions. I ain't getting my phone fixed in like 4 days minimum. Dang. So you're gonna have to use your sister's account or what? In the hadith, the Prophet told them to drink it along with camel milk. Yeah, I remember that part, but at the same time I forgot it. But now that you mention it, I remember that. What do you think of the sentence, money can't buy happiness? So far, money bought me happiness. Because I already have faith, bro. Like, if you have faith, then money can bring happiness. Because you know how to use that well. If you don't have iman, if you don't have the reason to use money in the right way, it's not going to bring you happiness. You're just going to buy things that, you know, take up space in your house, but it doesn't give you any value, any comfort or happiness. If you spend it in a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's going to make you happy. If you spend it in a way that you know is going to be charity, like spend it on your family, spend it on your friends, you know, Yuki's really getting into it, then it makes you happy. For me personally, money makes me happy. But only because, you know, I understand it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I thank him, you know, it's a blessing. It's a ni'mah. Our streak is gonna break, bro. At least say hi. What streak? I mean, I don't like the age stuff, to be honest. I don't care enough about Islam or religion in general to hate it or anything like that. Well, that's the sad part, because if you only know that aspect about Islam, then what about the rest of it? Like, people only know the things that most people have issues with it. They don't understand that Islam is there to tell you to trust in one God, to believe in one God, to have nobody associated with that God, and that God loves you so much more than your own mother, and so many other beautiful aspects. I can't even get into it in a short way because there's so many, you know, ways to describe Islam to somebody who doesn't know anything about it other than one thing because he sees it in the YouTube comment section, and most of them are Islamophobes. Commented on one of your short videos. Okay, I'll check it out later. I follow every god equally. They're all good. That's interesting. Because the reason why you'd want several gods is so that they could take care of different things and manage them all together unanimously, right? But what do you think about the concept of there being only one god, but he takes care of all those different aspects because he has all those attributes? Like, he's the most just, but he's also, the most forgiving and the one who, uh, you know, accepts your forgiveness, but also holds you accountable. They're not like two things going against each other. There's a balance, and he's balancing all of these things with 99 attributes. If you need 30,000 gods, for example, like think about one god who takes care of those 30,000 things the other 30,000 gods would have taken care of. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, what about that concept? You know, I was traumatized as a kid. What? How? I don't like cow meat either. I like it. I just like it's not my favorite. Oh. Money doesn't have any value. It is part of a materialistic world. The real value of money is in how you earn it and how you spend. Exactly. It has to be in the halal way. Because if somebody gives you that money, then that love that gave you the gift in the first place, that's what makes you happy. It's not the money itself that makes you happy. It's like, wow, this person likes me so much that he gave me money or she gave me money. And, it made me happy. But it's because of their kind act that made you happy. I am Hindu. OG Hindu. Awesome. When he doesn't have... Okay. That's what every Abrahamic religion believes. That's true. We all believe in one God. Because we're all called Abrahamic religions, right? But the thing that differentiates Islam from other Abrahamic religions is that our scripture, the Quran, is preserved in its most pure state, like since the beginning of time. The other scriptures, like the Bible, the Torah, they've been altered over the years because, the priests, they got really political at some point, and they started to take out, certain verses for their own benefit, political benefits or whatever. And yeah, over time it just kept changing and changing, and now where I live, I pass by churches that have the gay flag on it. It's like, what about the verses that talked about no two men can sit next to each or like sleep in the same bed, bro? And you're saying that's allowed now? Like, what do you even stand for in your religion? That makes me mad on the Christians' behalf. Like, But obviously, there's to a certain degree where you have to accept these people do exist, and there are like people who, want to be sincere to God in that in that category of people, but you can't accept them to that degree where you're putting the flag on the whole church, bro. I'm a bird. Welcome to the stream, Certified Her. If I remember correctly, you're Muslim, right? Assalamu alaikum if you are. I'm acing EDs at 3. What? I didn't get $1 for Eid, bro. Fatima is back again with sidekick Jannador. What? What are y'all saying? When I found out meat were animals under Eid al-Adha. Oh no. Yeah, but don't be traumatized still. Beef is really good, bro. You were 3 years old, Kat? I don't even know what I was doing when I was 3. Oh. I got self-conscious when I was 4. Yeah, me too. Not self-conscious, but like consciousness, like remember stuff. But what's it called? What's I gonna say? When I was 7, I watched like somebody, or not 7, but like actually yeah 7. I just barely turned 8. I saw them doing Qurbani in front of me, like the cow being sliced and everything. I was like, whoa. But yeah, I don't know what that did to me. Hopefully I'm okay though. I got like $70 to $80. Dollars or like, I don't know what your currency is called, but that's awesome. Hope you use it in the right way. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I can't believe we only read 2 pages. Are you kidding me? How much should we read, guys, before the mountain is you? It's a lot of pages. I'm not gonna read up till there, but let's keep going, inshallah. So, Young men in Mecca observed what they considered a rite of passage into manhood at 15. So one day, some youths invited Muhammad to join them for a visit at Al-Hanut, the shop. No! A windowless tavern on the outskirts of town. So, Muhammad innocently assumed the establishment was, as its name suggested, a store. He arrived to find two sluggish men guarding a wooden door covered by a dark blue curtain. After looking the boys over, the bouncers pulled the drape inside and ushered them in. Small olive oil lanterns provided minimal mood lighting. While shepherd boys played sensual melodies on their flutes. The room had no chairs, and servers, passing among the standing patrons, poured wine from amphorae. In the corners of the room, teenage girls with styled hairs, heavy makeup, and cheap jewelry lined up to be ogled, some dancing to the beat of drummers playing by animal skin cylinders. Do y'all know what this is talking about? I don't know this part. The only products sold at Al-Hanut, Muhammad suddenly realized, was girls, some as young as 12. While their thing was interested, clients engaged one of his charges. He would approach and negotiate a price. The client would take the girl outside to a nearby sand dune and return once business was concluded. Repulsed by the scene, Muhammad dashed out of the tavern, never to return. He understood that young women were victims, many orphans like himself. Their exploitation angered him, and he determined to oppose the practice. In no uncertain terms, the Quran declared, "You shall not force your slave girls into prostitution." At the same time, Muhammad recognized that these girls had great potential. One of his famous sayings would describe such a prostitute who pure-hearted transcended her outcast state. Okay, so this is talking about the woman who helped the dog drink water. But I don't know, this book keeps saying things like relating Quran verses to his experiences. But these are not inspired by his experiences, bro. Like, these are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. So I don't know why it's saying that. It's so weird. What? Yeah, 1 rupee is like 130 taka maybe, or I'll give it to you later. Got robbed. Our currency is called $1 is that. Wait, so 80 is like less than $1, or like? Of course, dollars. Oh, okay. $80. Dang. What are you gonna buy with that? It depends on the denomination, but there's some churches, yeah, they just don't make sense with what says in the Bible. So what does that even mean? Like, if you're not gonna practice your Bible, like, what are you even practicing at that point? You know? Unless you want to change the Bible. Pixie's under the bed. Yuki left the room. He's so unsupportive these days. That's it. I'm bringing Luca here. He's here. So cute. Aloha bag. Okay. Have you read the Bible? Oh, you're talking to him. Yeah, I used to be religious at some point. Okay, what happened? Why'd you lose your religion? Quantavius, Jontavius, Shonquarius, Jamarius. I remember you? Oh. Like, so, how are you doing? Ukhti, I'm great, alhamdulillah. I remembered you too. I was like, wait, I feel like you've been here, but I didn't know for sure. Yuki, no, I mean, Luca, stay, please. Don't go. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not. Oh, you're talking about Luca, yeah. Okay, and let's continue, inshallah. So, in spite of his abrupt departure from Al Harut, his peers continued to invite Muhammad to parties. In keeping with his non-confrontational nature, he politely declined, citing work responsibilities. When his friends invited him to a wedding party, he took on extra shepherding duties so that he could not attend, just in case wedding was a euphemism for carousing at Al Hanut. Alone among his peers, Muhammad chose to remain a virgin, saving himself for the right woman. Muhammad began to work for one of the Darul Nadwa elders, Ibn Judan, who hired him to repair his rooftop terrace. Ibn Judan soon noticed the young worker's maturity and invited him to chat. The two sat on the roof, watching the setting sun cast its final rays upon Mount Hira, which loomed over Mecca. In a reflective mood, Ibn Judan began to relate how he had grown up poor and became embittered about his family's marginalized status. He had turned to crime only to have his relatives disown him, after which he found himself sinking into depression. In the depths of his despair, Ibn Judan fled into the wilderness at dawn, determined to end his life by jumping off a cliff. He climbed a mountain outside Mecca and noticed a cave well hidden by a cairn and guarded by a cobra. Overcome with panic, Ibn Judan suddenly realized he really did not want to die. Then the rising sun's rays reflected off his amulet and illuminated the cobra. It was a statue made of solid gold with 2 rubies for eyes. The cave was a tomb of Jurhumite kings. Inside, precious jewels and treasures surrounded mummified bodies. Inspired by... There he is. The one, the only. The Yuki. Inside, precious jewels and treasures surrounded mummified bodies, inspired by the fortune he had stumbled upon en route to committing suicide. Ibn Judan resolved to use his newfound riches to help others who saw no hope. Pigs, pops, pukas. Pigs, pops, poops. Yep. That's the 3 Diablos here. What? Yeah, I'm agnostic, just don't care that much. There might be a God, who knows, but all that religious stuff, not into it. I feel like when you fall into that after being religious, it's just sort of denial phase where you kind of don't want to commit to anything that gives you like purpose in life. At that point, you just kind of float around not knowing how to live your life. I feel like most agnostic people, or like anyone who disbelieves in a God, they want to be good people, but there's no... It kind of really like makes them confused in many ways. It's like, what does good mean then? Like, you get a little philosophical, and then it hurts your head. It's like, fine, I'll just do whatever society says. But society is ruled or like led by these people like Trump and Epstein. Like, you gotta be careful, bro. Sometimes mainstream people, they all accept something, and in reality, it's not right. Like, the cringe that everybody accepts today, apparently that's right, but it's not. You know what I mean? Luca doesn't like Drea because she's not nice to him. I am. I'm so nice. Play Cat's Eye for me, girl. It's my birthday. What? Muhammad Al-Mazrui? You like K-pop? Haram alik. You just came out of Ramadan. You want Cat's Eye? Astaghfirullah al-Azim. But yeah, happy birthday. At birthday, she can't play the music, yeah. Unless it's the background of something like brain virus busters. Just kidding. I don't... That's not my intention to play music. But yeah, Yuki wants to sit on the book again. Is this a sign that I should change books to The Mountain Is You? So Ibn Judan returned to Mecca a transformed man. He stopped drinking alcohol to atone for his years of crime. He sent bags of money to the families of the men he had murdered and or stolen from. These expiations and many munificent acts of charity ultimately exhausted the entire fortune. Meanwhile, Ibn Juda'an became a successful businessman and charismatic leader, rising to represent the same clan that had once disowned him in the Darul Nadwa assembly. Muhammad listened in awe. Ibn uh, Juda'an's example reinforced the young man's growing conviction that choosing wisely, even in challenging circumstances, was vital. No longer a child, he recognized the importance of taking responsibility for his conduct, including whom he chose to befriend. He would later declare a healthy friend is like a perfume seller. Either you acquire perfumes from him or at least leave his presence smelling better. But a toxic friend is like a blacksmith who will either singe your clothes or leave you smelling awful. Ibn Juda'an, meanwhile, looked at the young man sitting across from him and saw he had potential far beyond carpentry repairs and shepherding. He had shared the story of his life's defining moment to encourage Muhammad to seize his own opportunities, and he would continue to encourage the young man's maturation in the coming years. Muhammad had gained a new mentor. Ibn Juda'an, huh? I've barely ever heard this guy. Hey bestie, yo, assalamu alaikum. I mean, not assalamu alaikum. Hello, welcome to the stream, queen. How's it going? Anyways, yeah, I'm here. Welcome. Yeah, I don't normally stream at 12 a.m. in the morning, but like I said earlier, I slept so much today because of the heat compress that I put on my eyes, and I immediately fall asleep, whether I'm tired or not. Jory only knows L poop. Lucas poop. Yeah, bro. Literally. I was raised Christian. It's not denied. It just don't care that much. For some people like you, religion is purpose. That's good. Not for everyone though. I mean, for a fact that makes sense. Like for a fact, not everyone can accept religion in the same way. There has to be a certain, percentage of people that will never accept the true faith because that's what makes free will free will. There has to be that option for you not to choose, and that's your choice, right? There's no compulsion in religion, and you can't force anybody to be Muslim. He wants to help find the bookmark. Why is the bookmark so hard to find though? Did I take it out or what? But I can't even find it though. Yeah, I probably took it out. But I'll just put like a bookmark here. So we read about Ibn Juda'an today. Can I vent about my day? Yeah, sure, Queen, go ahead. You don't have to ask me, just go ahead. But that's nice of you to ask. Because cultural protection, potato. But I like potato. Yo, I saw a short of Yuki wearing a red thing. He looked so cool, like gangster pirate. A red thing or like a pink sheep thing? Oh, you mean the red sweater. Yeah, that was like his winter sweater. Bro, what is wrong with him? He's standing and sleeping. Are you kidding me? He's not gonna sleep on the mountain as you, though. Okay. But yeah, Quandavius, Shakarius, Jamarius, are you still here? It's very interesting talking about your upbringing. Because what made you leave Christianity? I'm curious about that, though. What was scary in that movie again, Kai? I don't want to ruin your fun. No, it's okay, Quinn. Just do it. It's fun talking to you. So even if you share something sad or something you think is not fun, I think it's fun to be able to reply to you, at least. Okay, fine. Okay. Let me charge my phone in the meantime. Okay. Finally, studying the mountain is you. So how to tell if you're in a self-sabotage cycle. Alright, so we went over all the problems, but now how to tell. And you could just gonna stand here and sleep. So even if you can cognitively understand self-sabotaging behaviors, sometimes the most difficult shift is recognizing that we are engaging in them. That's true. Sometimes when you're deep in it, you can't even tell it's self-sabotage. In fact, sometimes the signals are so subtle they are barely recognizable and often don't come to our attention until they become highly problematic or someone else points them out. Some of the most prominent symptoms of self-sabotage are the following. You are more aware of what you don't want than what you do. You spend more of your time worrying, ruminating, and focusing on what you hope doesn't happen to you than you do imagining, strategizing, and planning for what you do. You spend more time trying to impress people who don't like you than you spend with people who love you for who you are. Wow. That's crazy. Cuz how many people want to, you know, please the haters? And they focus more on addressing the haters than they focus more on people who love them. I see a lot of content creators like that. They just reply to haters more than they care about their fans. Not me though. You are more focused on growing into the kind of person who evokes the envy of your supposed enemies rather than the kind of person who is loved by their family and friends and prioritizes them no matter what. Okay, I socialize way too little to even have enemies, bro. So I don't relate to that. You're putting your head in the sand. You don't know basic facts about your life, like how much debt you have or what other people in your field are being paid for similar work. When you get into an argument, you run away until you forget rather than talking about what's wrong and coming up with a solution. Okay, this one is me. In other words, you are in denial, and so any hope of healing is futile. But what's wrong with putting your head in the sand? Like, you don't want to talk to people, you don't want to, argue with them, that's fine. And you shouldn't care about how much people make in your field or whatever. Like that doesn't like that's not important to me. Please help. And he looked at me and laughed and ran off. Oh, sorry. What else did you say, Queen? Yo, if you said something else before that, Queen, I can't see it. It didn't stand for me. I love Hereditary. Oh, dang, I watched that. Hereditary is so weird, bro. The ending, everybody was headless. I just spoiled it for whoever would watch, but and when his little sister's head, like, she was looking out the window. Like, how did she just get hit like that, bro? Like, wouldn't a normal human reaction put their head back in the car? I don't know. I think it was just too fast. That's why. I watched it so long ago, I forgot the whole plot. Just those two scenes. Coraline or Midsummer? Wait, I love Coraline. And bro, when my dad was driving me home, I saw Ricky walking home. I made eye contact while I was crying. Okay, why were you crying though? I love that kind of stuff. I love Coraline more, but you should watch Midsummer. Yeah, I only watched that scene with my sis. Oh my god, it was so scary. By the way, Dre, where are you from? I'm from California, which means ethnically, that part, I feel kind of shy to say, to be honest. Because I'm not really in touch with my roots, bro. That's not really relevant information for me either. Because what's the point of being from somewhere if you don't know anything about it? You have a beautiful name. Thank you so much. I do, yeah, it's definitely beautiful because it's one of the names of the mothers of the believers, right? Juwayriya, radiallahu anhu, was the wife of the Prophet ﷺ. And, I can only think of one hadith that had her name in it. And that was when, the Prophet ﷺ he left the house while she was praying duha, and he came back and she was still praying duha. And he said, you know, something that's worth more than this is this one adhkar. It's called like subhanallah bihamdi عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزينة عرشه ومدد كلماته. Say that 3 times every morning and you get the reward of praying the entire afternoon. But the ustad said there's no ghost but ends up getting possessed. I was laughing so hard. Bruh, what if the ghost said that after possessing your ustad? That's crazy. So my friend was choking me and I said stop, but she didn't listen. And she held me back from my arms and started walking to Ricky, and I got scared, so I just yelled at help and yelled the rest. What? Why would your friend do that, bro? Queen, you should tell on her. But I feel like that's hard to believe for, you know, a principal. They're like, oh, you know, girls that age they get really dramatic. But that's I believe you're not being dramatic if your friend did that. Like, there has to be some cameras there, right? No problem, girly. I feel you. What about you? Where are you from, if you don't mind saying? Yeah, that was so funny. And I was laughing when she hit her Jin brother and ran. Oh my god. I know, but she's the only one that listens. That friend? Oh my god. Anybody can listen, bro. I'd rather be alone. So, you care more about convincing other people you're okay than actually being okay. You'd rather post photos that make it look like you had a great time than being concerned about whether you actually had a good time. You put more effort towards trying to convince everyone you're doing well rather than being honest and connecting with people who could help or support you. I don't believe I relate to this, which is good, because I don't want to make it look like I had a great time. I would never post photos like that. Then again, if I had to, I probably would. I don't know though. Your main priority in life is to be liked, even if that comes at the expense of being happy. No way, not me. I feel like I care about being happy more than I care about being liked. Because a lot of things that I do, people hate me for it. It's like, oh, why do you wear glasses, bro? Just wear contacts. You know, they say a lot of things. I'm just like, I don't care. You think more about whether or not your actions will earn you the approval of people who are people by built that never thought you could. You've come so much farther than you think, and you're so much closer than you realize. Is that self-sabotage? Wait, let me see. Oh wait, I skipped a page. Who are people, by the way, rather than whether or not they will actually make you feel fulfilled and content with who you are. You're more afraid of your feelings than anything else. Ooh, maybe this one relates to me. If you get to the point in life at which the scariest, most detrimental thing you face is the fear of whether or not you will be able to handle your own emotions, you're the one standing in your own way, nothing else is. Does anybody else relate to this? I don't know. And the way he hit it was hilarious. Girl was like, oh my brother, then 1 hour later hits it good off. I know. Okay. Damn, I love this book. Is this The Mountain Is You? It is! Yeah, you read this, right? Dang. How do you like it? And do you relate to this? Certified her. He got an Arda. Yo, and Confident, welcome back to the stream. Chat, we back. Yep. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And Thunder97, welcome. Oh, and I was hanging out with some of my other friends besides Sophie in that group. Then Sophie said I was running away from her, and she was like mad. That's because, I don't know, if you leave somebody who you've been hanging out with behind and you're hanging out with new people, it's okay that you do that, but you gotta talk to Sophie before you do that, you know? It's like, she might have felt like you abandoned her. Don't abandon her. And welcome back to Stream Monarchist. Assalamu alaikum. Yo. Actually, you're not Muslim. Hello. Don't give spoilers. Yeah, I'm halfway. I relate to it so much. It's crazy. I know. I related to so many things already. But yeah. Being afraid of your feelings than anything else is crazy. So you're blindly chasing goals without asking yourself why you want those things. For me, any of the goals that I want to chase in life, it's so that I could, get some money so I could support myself financially, and also so I could give back to the ummah. Anything that I do in life, it just circles around Islam. Like, I would never be confused about why I want certain things. Everything's for the sake of Islam. If you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing and yet you feel empty and depressed at the end of the day, the issue is probably that you're not really doing what you want to be doing. You're just adopting someone else's script for happiness. Yeah, that's not me for sure. I feel like that would be me if I didn't have Islam, though. You're treating your coping mechanisms as the problem. Instead of trying to incite war on yourself to overcome your overreacting, spending, drinking, whatever it is you need to improve, ask yourself what emotional need that thing is filling. Until you do, you will battle it forever. To overcome your excessive use of anything specific. So, instead of that, ask yourself what emotional need that thing is filling. So, a lot of people, they delve into certain things that, sort of block out their emotional need. They're like, okay, I need, I don't know, a hug or something, so they do something else. But you gotta ask yourself, what is it that you need emotionally that you're trying to find through other things? Because until you do, you'll battle it forever. Bro, same. I'd be so depressed, not gonna lie. For real, bro. Alhamdulillah for Islam. Alhamdulillah ala ni'mat al-Islam. I have to cook today watching YouTube. What are you gonna cook, tofu? Is the answer in the question. So you value your doubt more than your potential. Ooh. Negativity bias makes us believe that bad things are more real than good. And unless we keep that inclination in check, it can leave us believing that everything we fear to be true is more real than the good things that are actually true. So don't be negative, guys. Think good thoughts. So you're trying to care about everything. Your willpower is a limited resource. You only have so much in a day. Rather than using it to try to become good at everything, decide what matters most to you. Focus your attention on that and let everything else slip away. That's so me for real. Like, sometimes, like this morning, I was thinking, okay, what should I do today? I want to do so many things. I want to bake cookies. I want to go to the lake. I want to go on a hike. I want to kick Gerald. I want to read. I want to stream. I need to do something. I need to do an assignment. I need to study for an exam this Thursday. I gotta do chores. I gotta clean the house. And guess what I did? I fell asleep after Fajr. And then I woke up. I prayed Dhuhr. Went to sleep. And then I prayed Asr. Quickly prayed Maghrib. And I was cleaning the room and almost fell asleep again. But then my mom called me to eat. So then I ate. And then now I've been streaming for some time now. But if it were up to me, if my mom didn't call me or something, I probably would have slept a third time. Cooking is easy. Everyone pray for me. Hope you survive. Why is the one person that's talking to me Juria? Because you matter, Queen. You matter to me. It doesn't matter. And I have no friends now because everyone likes her. Everyone says that it's my fault that she's mad. And even me, my dad is on her side. So I guess you're right. Oh, sorry. It's not your fault though, Queen. I don't want to come off like I'm not supporting you in anything. Because I do want to be supportive towards you. It's just that I'll give you my honest opinion. It could have hurt, but I'm just being honest, bro. I don't want to mask it as Mask being mean is honesty. I don't want to be mean. That's for a fact. But yeah, it's okay, Queen. I've been there too. I've ditched people to hang out with other people I barely hang out with for just for the heck of it, and you know they did feel a little bit weirded out, but she shouldn't have crashed out at you. But you can't Kai, does that mean you're a guy? Queen, you got no friends? I don't think that's true. She probably has so many friends. But she just feels like she has no friends at the moment because her friend Sophie got mad at her because she was hanging out with other people. Rare moment when Dre was real. Okay. I hope she's still here. I don't know if she is. Queen? Okay. You're waiting for someone else to open a door, offer approval, or hand you the life you have been waiting for. Oh man, that's so me. We grow up with the illusion that success is what's handed to people who are most deserving, talented, or privileged. When we arrive, however, we realize it's constructed by those who find an intersection of their interests, passions, skills, and a market gap. Sprinkle on a little bit of persistence, and the only way to fail is to give up. Sometimes you wish for somebody to just come in your life and take care of you. But that'll never be the case because, you know, if they could manage everything, they could also abuse it. So you gotta get rid of that illusion and hand yourself the life that you want. Work for it. And then the only thing in your way will be giving up. You gotta find that intersection of your interest, passion, skills, and market gap. My interest, my passion, my skills, YouTube, live stream, reading, Islam for sure. So you don't realize how far you've come. You're not the person you were 5 years ago. 2021? That's 5 years ago? Are you kidding me? You evolve as your self-image does. So make sure that it's an accurate one. Give yourself credit for everything you've overcome that you never thought you would. And everything you've built that you never thought you could. You've come so much farther than you think, and you're so much closer than you realize. Close to death, yeah. I feel like I'm closer to death than succeeding in school and everything. But it's okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plan is the best of all plans. So many Hamza here. Hamza? You mean in Pakistan? I just drew a skeleton outline on my hand. Oh yeah, I'm here. Ooh, nice. What you reading? Hello, welcome. I'm reading The Mountain Is You. It's kind of like a self-improvement book. Self-mastery. It's really, really interesting. I like this book so far. Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, less than British Raj. What? What is a British Raj? I saw any people by my name in real life. Aryan? Identifying your subconscious commitments. So, part of the reason we often experience intense inner conflict or self-sabotage is because of something called the core commitments, which is essentially your primary objective or intention for your life. Your subconscious commitment are basically what you want more than anything else, and you often aren't even aware of them. You can identify your core commitments by looking at the things that you struggle with most and the things you are most driven by. If you can peel back the layers of your motivations towards each, you'll find a root cause. When you find the same root cause for everything, you've found a core commitment. So, a lot of people, they set their core commitments based on a person. And once they lose that person, they don't know what else to do in life, you know? Like, if you make this person the center of your whole world, what happens if they leave you? You gotta set your core commitments on somebody who will never leave you. That's God. That's the most freeing things to live for. The British Raj was the British code. These are just I don't even know what that means, bro. Never mind. Of course, if anyone would be obvious, I'll be the original. Durandar isn't widely known or clearly documented as a major political film, so there's no solid, widely accepted view that it's a propaganda movie. Hello, Akriti. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Miss Universe. I don't get the chat today, but let's continue. People only seem irrational and unpredictable until you understand why what they're fundamentally committed to. For example, if someone has a core commitment to feel free, they might find themselves sabotaging work opportunities in order to achieve that. If someone's core commitment is to feel wanted, they could find themselves in a series of relationships in which they have intense connections but refuse to make commitments out of fear that the spark will fade. If someone's core commitment is to be in control of their lives, they might have irrational anxiety about things that represent a loss of control. If someone's core commitment is to be loved by others, they might pretend to be helpless in certain areas of life because they don't need others. Because if they don't need others, they might be left by them. Whoa. But I don't put myself in needy situations. I feel like I don't even know what my core commitment is. But how do you tell? I gotta ask ChatGPT this, bro. Because I only said my core commitment is God, but it probably might be something else. Hey Irene. Yo, welcome to the stream, Irene. Why is nobody talking to me? This is literally what is talking to you. This is literally about Queen. To feel wanted, they could find themselves in a series of relationships in which they have intense connections but refuse to make commitments out of fear that they'll... Okay, never mind, that's not Queen. But I feel like your core commitment is to feel wanted. But yeah, what did you say, Queen? Nobody cares about me. Knew it. Never mind. Nobody's gonna care, but I've been really struggling recently. It's not that we don't care, it's that sometimes I don't see your messages. Because the whole chat is very full of people. But yeah, let me know what you've been struggling with. I obviously care, because I try to reply to you when I can. But I'm not that good at replying sometimes. Sorry about that. Did I do something? I'm sorry if I did. No, you don't have to apologize about anything. Yeah, you're overthinking Twitch, Queen. Nah, we just listening. Yeah. Let us know what's going on, though. The way you telling on public chat seems you're pointing it out. Okay. But the most important thing to understand is that your core commitments are actually a cover-up for core needs. Your core need is the opposite of your core commitment. Your core need is also another way to identify your purpose. For example, if your subconscious core commitment is to be in control, your core need is trust. If your subconscious core commitment is to be needed, your core need is to know you are wanted. If your subconscious core commitment is to be loved by others, your need is self-love. Aww. Love yourself, guys. The less that you feed your core need, the louder your core commitment symptoms will be. If you are a person who needs trust and is therefore committed to staying in control, the less that you believe you are supported, the more your negative coping mechanisms are going to flare up. I might have to read that again. The less you believe you are supported, the more your negative coping mechanisms are going to flare up. So you guys need to be supported in a way that is positive so that you don't fall back to negative coping mechanisms. because that inhibits our personal growth. We need to feel supported. And you know the Quran says your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the friend of the believers. He's our biggest supporter. Sometimes you don't have any people to support you. You know, I'm lucky that I do, but I don't have a lot of people don't have that kind of that kind of surrounding that they have supporters, what, like, you know, in their life. You know, the Prophet said he didn't have any supporters with him in the, you know, in the Ta'if place. He was all by himself, and Jibreel alayhi salam came to support him. But in that moment, he was by himself. You know. Actually, no, he was with his adopted son. But you know, like the little prophets like Nuh alayhi salam, you know, Noah, he was by himself, right? Is doing shisha to cope bad?
Self-harm.
Oh, self-harm. I was thinking shisha, bro. But yeah, self-harm of course is bad. That's like the exact opposite of self-love.
She's trying to say she does self-harm.
Oh, don't do self-harm, okay? Your hair tie doesn't support your bald head. Yo, let's not talk about that. You know, that's aura. I'm not bald, by the way. I just gave myself a haircut that Iron Kid's a hater on, cause she didn't like short hair. But I'm not trying to describe my hair. I'm saying in general, she doesn't like short hair. Just remember, your mom won't be happy seeing you sad. So be happy for her, okay, Queen? Aww, that's so sweet. Especially coming from you, Tofu, because, you know, you're in the same situation as Queen in terms of your mom. What time is it there? Yo, Yushina, welcome to the stream. It's 12:55 a.m. here, so it's pretty late. But I'm not sleepy at all because I slept so much today. So that's why I'm up very late. What are you studying? Hello, Walton the First. I'm studying The Mountain Is You. I did study some math earlier, so yeah, we did switch topics. Now, Jory got her hair and unconfident nose. Uh-oh. That was completely by accident. I'm wearing a hoodie now, just because, you know, that was so embarrassing, bro. The pen is cool. Thank you, Elton. I'm hungry, but I won't eat. Why? Queen, what do you even have to eat? I hope you have a lot of healthy food. There's this rule when you go to the grocery store, think rainbow, okay? Get any fruits and vegetables of the rainbow, like anything colorful. That's good for you. What happened last time with Unconfident? Basically, I was so into reading, I accidentally pressed the like the flip camera button and it showed everything and I barely noticed. I was like Astaghfirullah al-Azim, bro. Man. Anyways, sorry. The less that you feel your core need, the louder your core command symptoms will be. If you're a person who needs trust and is therefore committed to staying in control, the less you believe you are supported, the more your negative coping mechanisms are going to flare up. Perhaps this could happen in the form of disruptive eating patterns, isolating yourself, or hyperfixation on physical appearance. That sounds like somebody, not me. Sounds like Iron Kia. But this could happen in the form of disruptive eating patterns. Wait, what happens here? This is your negative coping mechanism here. And that's the less that you believe you're supported. So you gotta stay in control. I read this like 5 billion times. It's still not clocking to me. I don't know why. It's probably because it's late, but you just gotta believe that you are supported and think about, you know, all the times, all the good things. But a lot of people, they think about the negative things when they were not feeling so supported. Good reminder to not yap too passionately. Oh my god, Aaron Kia. You're gonna make me like do one of these things if I feel very unsupported. But don't worry, I feel supported, guys. If you're committed to freedom and therefore need a sense of autonomy, the The less that you build a life on your own terms, the more you are going to sabotage opportunities and feel drained and exhausted when you should feel happy. Tofu, I was just telling you and be polite. Quinn, how's your day going? Bad. Why? What happened? Oh, because the whole thing happened. Oh, yeah, you did tell what happened. I hope your day gets better, Quinn. Okay, Scott is proud to see Joy's face. Get a job, bro. Oh, dang. Tofu, you know nothing, unconfident, and me know too much. It was an accident. It's my fault, bro. It's me. It's not their fault. And they were not even flexing that. He just said in response to Iron Kill, who started this whole thing. Next, your phone will accidentally zoom into your toes, bro. Iron Kill, now Eris is gonna talk with you more. What I did was not polite. You could always apologize. Queen, I hope your day gets better. Yeah, it's not our fault. It's my fault, yeah. Toes. Okay. Queen, yeah. Inshallah certified her. My name's literally Irene. Okay. Apologize to me, Tofu. What? That's not how you... Okay. Anyways. Confronting repressed emotions and taking action. There's a difference between understanding why we self-sabotage and the act of no longer self-sabotaging. This means that once we understand the root and purpose of the behavior, we adjust it. We adapt. Overcoming self-sabotage is not just a matter of understanding why you're holding yourself back. It is being able to take action in the direction that you want and need to, even if it is initially uncomfortable or triggering. How come nothing is clocking to me? Like, can somebody explain what they learned from this? Aaron, Kia, do you want to contribute into the class?
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh my gosh, she wasn't paying attention, guys. I have to read it again for Iron Kia. So, there's a difference between understanding why we self-sabotage and the act of no longer self-sabotaging. This means that once we understand the root and purpose of the behavior, we adjust it, we adapt. Overcoming self-sabotage is not just a matter of understanding why you're holding yourself back. It is being able to take action in the direction that you want and need to, even if it is initially uncomfortable or triggering.
I wasn't paying attention.
She wasn't paying attention again. I was paying attention, guys. Somebody else in the chat was paying attention. So, confronting and then taking action. Sometimes we are aware of how we're self-sabotaging. Maybe we relapsed into something that takes us a long time to get out of, and then you confront it by saying, you know what, I don't want to repeat my mistakes. I want to get out of this, and I want to be a better version of me. That's what it is talking about. We adapt. We overcome self-sabotage, even if it is initially uncomfortable or triggering. Yo, adding a dollar. Wait, he said to say just Addy, right? Welcome back to the stream. How's it going? Cupping therapy is an ancient form of alternative medicine originating in Chinese, Egyptian, and Middle Eastern cultures that involves placing special cups on the skin to create suction. Yes, habitual 3 is actually sunnah in my religion. Sunnah means recommended, like it's like a tradition. I'll share my opinion. Last time I said you kitty, you timed me out. You too sensitive. Me? Oh, Eric Scott, that's true. Don't joke about me. I don't like jokes about me. You're not 40 years old, that I can't joke with you. But understand sarcasm. And then you unmod after that. Okay, I gotta put an end to this. Eric Scott, Tofu, y'all better break it up. Bro, don't say anything about me. Welcome back, Kai. Assalamu alaikum. Apparently last time Eric Scott, that whole thing happened because you said something about his race. Like you kind of being racist, right? I forgot. Why do y'all beef? Chill. I know, right? Like y'all are both mods. You guys are respected members in the stream, so respect each other, inshallah. But I feel like I was unfair to Tofu for unmodding him. Even though I feel like that was warranted, it's like he only said that because he was reacting, and I didn't address the reactor. So should I unmod Eric Scott, guys? Because then again, it happened so long ago, I forgot. I didn't say anything about you. I was always good to you, but you got another level of attitude. Okay, it's fun. Yeah, we don't want to seek fun that way, right? Because we are putting other people's what's it called, their comfort at risk here. You know, we don't want to make people uncomfortable for our own fun. That's another form of self sabotaging. We're ruining our own reputations that way. So we're talking about self sabotage here, and you gotta address that self sabotaging behavior, and and confront it basically, even though if it's uncomfortable or triggering at first. That's how we adapt. We overcome that. It's not gonna be easy, but inshallah, with enough intentional effort, we'll get there. Inshallah. 17-year-old is not a kid, okay? That's true. What's his name? Salahuddin al Ayyubi? He was like 17 when he, like, started going to wars. I don't know. Bro, your behavior says LOL. Okay, guys, literally, stop. Who should go on timeout? I'm actually time out the next person who continues this. Or unmod. I honestly don't know how to deal with that. This is a very important part of the process because you're essentially going to be confronting the exact emotions you have been trying to avoid. When you stop engaging in self-sabotaging behavior, repressed emotions that you weren't even aware of will start to come up, and you might feel even worse than you did before. The thing you're overcoming self-sabotage is that we don't often need to be told what to do. We know what we want to do and what we need to do. It is simply that we are being held back by our fear of feeling. To begin to unravel this emotional holding pattern, we can work through the following to find more ease and space and freedom while we change our lives. Dre, just tell him, don't ever talk about me like that, ever. Okay, if somebody doesn't want to be talked about, you gotta respect their wishes. Because, honestly, I don't want to be talked about either, bro. Because people who talk about me, they never have anything good to say. Even if I want to be my best version of myself, they don't want to focus on that. So might as well not talk about me at all. You know? But I'm not talking about anybody here. I'm talking about people who make bald jokes just because I cut my hair. I'm not bald. Oh, I feel bad. Psych! I would have laughed if that were funny. Dre, tell him don't... Okay, yeah. Yes, what, queen? Yes, I am mean. If no one has something good to say about you, you don't... Doesn't that say something about you? It doesn't. It does not. It says more about the person who has nothing to say than you. Because sometimes people don't want to say something nice. Anybody could say something nice. It's like, you know, you could say, this person has a nice aura to them. They don't even have to say anything. This person only talks when it's important. You just don't remember the good things. Yeah, sometimes that's the case. Okay, Tofu, you're just being low-key rude to Eris now. Yeah, because why would you? But I don't want to lie to Juria. Huh? What? Juria, just tell him? Yes, Tofu. Me, because I'm mean. What don't you want to lie about? Are you Bill Clinton? No, I'm not on the Epstein list. But yeah, thanks for asking, Bumblebee Engine Julio. Welcome to the stream. I don't want to lie, Juria. But lie about what though, Queen? You mean saying something good? You don't have to say anything then. The thing about overcoming self-sabotage is that we don't often need to be told what to do. We know what we want to do. We know what we need to do. It's simply that we are being held back by the fear of feeling. To begin to unravel emotions, holding patterns, we can work through the following to find more ease and space and freedom while we change our lives. The most common emotions that arise while you're breaking self-sabotaging behaviors. I feel like this is really, really important, guys. Y'all better pay attention, okay? The first feeling you're likely to confront is resistance. That this is the generalized sense of being stuck on your own body feelings, so tense that it is almost hard, as though you are hitting a wall. This feeling is usually a masking emotion that is preventing you from actually being aware of the sensations beneath it, which are most acute. When you start to feel resistance, you don't want to just push through it. In fact, trying to do that means you will keep hitting the same wall that you're up against already. You're gonna strengthen the self-sabotaging behavior because you aren't really solving the problem just trying to override it. Instead, start asking the right questions. Why do I feel this way? What is this feeling trying to tell me about the action I'm trying to take? Is there something I need to learn here? What do I need to do to honor my needs right now? So these are really, really important questions to ask yourself, guys. You want to change your self-sabotaging ways. Yo. Four questions. Would you rather have a cheeseburger or a cheeseburger? I think I want a cheeseburger just so that I could have something new. I like a little bit of novelty in my diet, you know? It kind of expands your horizons and makes new neural patterns, right? Like neuron connections. That's just my answer to that. My head feels kind of dizzy. Oh no, drink some water, lie down, and yeah, take care of yourself. I'll go now crochet. Okay, bye, Kai. She made that list. Oh, bruh. I did not make that Epstein list, bro. You're saying that everyone can do something good. Can say something good. Okay. You can say something good. It just takes a little bit of thinking to get to that. But it's not always gonna be a lie. Like for me, I can say, Tofu is a good listener, even if he's listening to what Air Scott has to say, and try to find some way to make a snarky remark out of that. You know, he's still a good listener. It's just that, you know, or like Air Scott, he's interested. He's very open-minded. He's very interested in religion, even if he doesn't want to accept Islam. Or that Kai is an expert crochet maker. But there's nothing to say about that though. She's just is good. That's all I gotta say. Like there's nothing else to say about. There's nothing bad to say about Kai. I don't know. But I'm not saying everyone has something good and bad to say about somebody. Hi, I need to go to school, work too. Hello, Frankie. Welcome back to the stream. I'm going now for real. Okay, how far would you get into a zombie apocalypse? Not far at all, bro. Because I have glasses on, and once I lose that, I'm done for. And it's very easy to lose your glasses in a zombie apocalypse. There's no optometrist. And I have a lot of other problems, too, that I need a doctor for. And he gets annoyed by me if I just literally say him a kid. I call Kai many things, and she's 15 years old, younger than her. Maybe he's only sensitive to me, like, don't talk with me. But if that's the case, Tofu, like, why would you still interact with somebody like that if they don't want to be talked to in a way like that? You could always say something nice. Wait, it's 1 a.m. for you? For me, it's only 6:42 p.m. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. I know, it's pretty crazy. Yo, Lullaby Scene, welcome back to the stream. How's it going? I feel like you've been here. Or somebody else had your same profile picture. I'm not sure. But you do seem familiar. But have a great day at school and work, Frankie. I appreciate you hopping in even if you can't stay for the whole time. It's 1 p.m. in my place. Oh, where you from? Are you from Pakistan? Because that's like the same time as Jannat and Ghafoor. Okay, I gotta go to shower and do schoolwork. Okay, bye, Frankie. Thanks for tuning in and see you later, inshallah. Have a good rest of your day, Frankie. Okay, this is the last page I'm gonna read. Because this just keeps going on. Another page 6-7. Then you have to reconnect to your inspiration on or your vision for life. Get clear on why you want to take this action and make a change. When your motivation is the fact that you want to live a different and better existence, you're gonna find that a lot of the resistance fades because you're being pushed by a vision that's greater than your fear. In another case, you might run into other emotions such as anger, sadness, or inadequacy. When those feelings come up, it is very important to make space for them. This means to allow them to rise up in your body and observe them. Watch where they make you tense up or constrict. Feel what they want you to feel. There's nothing worse than the fear of feeling the emotion, as the experience itself is ultimately often just some physical tension around which we've crafted a story. So, the way they're saying this is like, just feel the emotions, but I feel that there's more to it than that. You have to understand why you feel those emotions in the first place. Like, where does it come up from? Because your emotions of fear, anger, sadness, like, especially anger, like, it doesn't come from anywhere. It comes from, like, like people doing something to you, like making you angry. Or that you're just angry in general because you want something to change. When you want something to change, like, you have to make that a goal. You have to focus on that because that's what those emotions they're driving you towards. You need a good change in your life instead of just killing yourself. May Allah give you patience to get jokes. May Allah grant you hold on. I can't even think, bro. Grant you kindness, or like, not to say you're unkind, you're already kind, but like, grant you ways to cope and to deal with people. I think the right word is probably like start with the C though. Man, I'm blinking. Compassion. You gotta have compassion for people. Not everybody has the same level of sensitivity. So you have to be compassionate, and that's how you'll be able to deal with different people. Not everybody's the same person. Some people take jokes, some don't. Exactly, Kai. Not in the whole chat standing for Eris, and I'm here for it. Come on, it's okay, Tofu. We understand where you come from as well. Like, we're not against you. It's like Queen, Just because, I feel like Sophie got abandoned by her friend that day doesn't mean I'm against Queen. Not everybody is perfect, right? Sometimes I'm wrong too. And if somebody, says, yeah, I feel like you might have been wrong in this situation, or something like this. It's not what you want to hear, because you want to feel supported. Everybody wants to feel supported, yeah. But we also need honesty. So it's important that we take things with the grains of salt, and to, accept some things. He said a harmless joke, and Queen and a 40-year-old Scott went crazy. Like, bro, clearly y'all are chronically online and unemployed. Okay, that's the kind of reply that makes Tofu happy. No, but seriously, you gotta have less banter though, because people get offended easily. Bruh, Kai, is the things we call you shouldn't give advice. Chill out, will ya? We're here watching the stream, not in the courtroom. I know, Joy is so wise, Allah bag. I wanna find friends like you, bro. Dang, I wanna find friends like you too. Inshallah, if I ever get a chance to travel the world, I might just meet you. Go cry with each other. Oh my gosh, Aaron Kia. At least someone gets some sense. Okay. Remember that a lot of these feelings may very well have a root in something related to the self-sabotaging behavior. If you're angry about how one of your parents treated you, it probably won't come as a surprise that the core feeling of why you are sabotaging your relationships is anger and mistrust. The feeling associated with self-sabotage are not usually random. In fact, they can lead us to deeper insights about what we really need and what problems within us are still unresolved. So, upbringing has a major is a major component in how we tend to self-sabotage. So that was just one example that the author gave, right? Your parent, how they treated you, if it was bad and they were angry and you were angry at them, how they treated you, that's one way that you can self-sabotage at your people that who don't deserve that anger. So think about yourself, your upbringing, and how you were treated and how you felt in terms of how you were treated, and that might answer the question why you treat others the way you do, if it's wrong. Because sometimes people could be so mean to you growing up, but you could still be the nicest person to other people. So that's beautiful. That's like you already did that inner work. But in that scenario, I think the likelihood of you being mean to yourself is pretty high as well, because it has to go somewhere, right? You can't just automatically do inner work. You have to do very intentionally. To fully release those feelings once you are aware of them, try writing to yourself a letter. Writing yourself a letter, releases a lot of feelings. Write something to your younger self or from the perspective of your future self. Write down a mantra or a manifesto. I feel like that might be haram, but remind yourself that you love yourself too much to settle for less, or that it is okay to be angry in unfair or frustrating circumstances. Give yourself space to experience the depth of your emotions so that they do not control your behaviors. We have to control our emotions, not let our emotions control us. Because that tends to happen a lot of the time. If you're angry, you're just like, alright, I'm angry. I might have to warn people that I'm angry and just act the way that I want. Because I already warned them, right? But no, in that case, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I'm just gonna give an example how he told us to control our anger. And he addressed anger so much in the hadith. He said, if you're angry, sit down. And if you're still angry, lay down. If you're angry laying down, just get up. Change your situation, the way you're standing or sitting. And then make wudu with cold water. Control that anger. Because these negative emotions that control you, obviously they come from somewhere. It's natural, human, right? But that's what makes shaitan happy, that you tend to lose that control, because your emotions are part of nafs as well. And shaitan wants you to be controlled by your nafs, not the other way around. You controlling your nafs. The more the people get a pity party, like, oh, what's wrong? The more inspired they get to continue this woe is me attitude. Are you saying we shouldn't ask what's wrong? That doesn't sound right to me. Yes, lullaby, everyone paying attention to the stream. I think tofu is too observant. And they act like everything said to them is the worst offense they ever experienced. Like, what? I could just let it go, bruh. But wanted to have some fun, lol, and couldn't even get it. Also, he's old here. He should have got it. Do people really pay attention to the stream? That's it. I'm closing the chat. Oh, thanks, lullaby scene. Everyone just crochet. Yeah. You know what? Instead of trying to shut down the whole conversation, we could always, address it. I feel like, Iron Kid is trying to do that. She's trying to address the situation. But that's not really helpful. I don't know. It could be helpful, but, that's kind of... You still gotta be kind, though. I don't intentionally stop at page 6-7. But it just happens. Because I read a lot. We've been doing this for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Why judge people by their age? I know, bro. Even if you're 60, 50 years old, that doesn't mean that you're already mature, that you should understand something. Because somebody 12 years old could be more mature than a 50-year-old. Age does not determine maturity or understanding. At that age, you're probably hardened in your ways, but you can still change. To be honest, if that were Kai, he wouldn't get mad. There's a saying like, if you hate a person, you'll hate even the way you breathe. Whoa, yo, that's so true. But I don't think he has a reason to hate you though. You just gotta be nice. Like you gotta give Air Scott some evidence that you're not a bad person. And you didn't give any evidence that you are a bad person. It's just that his only experience with you is negative. So you gotta increase that positive, you know? Earth is flat. Yo, Nick, welcome to the stream. And why are you sad that Earth is flat, bro? Like, you smile. I do calligraphy on my hand when I'm bored. Yo, that's so cool. That's like henna. I have henna, but as you could tell, I didn't do anything for Eid. I didn't do anything for Eid, actually. We just went to a steakhouse, which is pretty nice. Alhamdulillah, that day it hit really hard. But yeah, normal people, they do henna. I even forgot to do takbirat after Fard's prayer. I have to make those up, bro. I'm hungry. Oh, Queen, what haven't you eaten yet? He made an unemployed joke that literally everyone online does, and it made Scott throw a fit. Come on, Iron Key, you can't really support banter like that. You know, the Prophet ﷺ, I'll say this, and I hope it doesn't come off too harshly, inshallah, but there's a saying that if you say one thing without care, right, it could take you to the lowest level of Jahannam, because you are being you're not being careful about what you're saying. And I'm not saying this in regards to what happened, but in general, because it even applies to me for sure, that we're not very careful with what we say. But that one thing that we didn't care about, it could take us all the way there. And that, you know, the Prophet said the Muslim is one who other people are safe from their hands and their tongue. So the hands, it's not only just like physical fight, right? It's also like what we type with. What we type with online. We gotta be safe to other people. People we know, people we don't know. Especially those we don't know. Like, otherwise, we're not gonna be held accountable like that. We don't think we are, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us about how we treated other people. So inshallah, we have to keep these reminders in mind when we interact online, and try to be the safest people we can, inshallah. How many times are you gonna tell Queen to eat something? As many times as it takes for her to eat, okay? What else can I do, bro? Junk food is not healthy. Exactly. Don't eat junk food. Eat like an egg, bro. Just cook an egg in a stove. I feel like anybody can do that. Egg, toast, like, that's good enough. Nope, it's ugly. At least I did it. We're living in a simulation. We're not, Nick. A lot of people think we are, but this life is an exam for how good we could be. We're gonna be tested in ways we're not gonna pass. All right, we're gonna do the wrong thing sometimes, definitely. But it's about turning back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's about asking each other for forgiveness, for being the best people we can be, always improving. Okay, we could be going on a downward spiral for 10 years, and then one day it will clock in, be like, you know what? I don't want to live this way. And then you start to make your way back up that downward spiral. And people get out of it, you know? Now you are, Nick. Search up the term snowflake, and that's literally what y'all are. Come on, Iron Kill. We're not gonna talk like that. Alright? We're gonna be mindful. We're gonna be careful with our speech. We're only gonna talk when our words are more beautiful than silence. Now you're dragging him, Tofu. Not Aristo chat. Dre, you should time out Tofu. You know, I have a little bit of a soft spot after his mother passed away, so I don't want to do anything that might make him sad, because it's not like I don't want to hold him accountable if he does something wrong, but, you know, I don't want to take harsh things, because I already did that, bro. Like, last time I did that, I felt really bad. I was like, oh my gosh, I should have taken his mod, because his mom passed away the next day. But yeah, I'm not gonna time him out for that. The best I could do is just try to address the situation and remind each other to be safe people, like the Prophet ﷺ told us to. Guys, guess what? I got food. Yo, alhamdulillah. Time him out for what? For like talking to Eris, by the way. He timed me out for 30 minutes and took my mod, who cares? Yeah, I did that already, so I feel like it's not needed anymore. But yeah, what'd you get, Queen? I might have to end the stream soon, just because it's like 1:30 a.m. right now. And I think yapping too much at this time is not good for the people who are sleeping. Talking to him like what? Not sure what that question is asking. But yeah, if you're caring about a YouTube live in life, then YouTube online wanted. No, online interactions are real life still. It's not like YouTube lives don't matter as much as real life. They're the same thing. It's still in real life, still real people's feelings. You have to care about people's feelings. 'Cause I think like a lot of people, they tend to think it's not that deep if it's online, right? But it is. You still get accountability. You still get held accountable the same way on the Day of Judgment. I like how amidst all this chaos, niggas casually threw out the greatest statements like the earth is flat. I know, right? It's so funny. The duality of live chats. It's because Tofu didn't do anything. So you're like, well, favoritism is a thing, Aaron Kia. Strawberry yogurt. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna end the stream here, inshallah, because we addressed the thing and she answered the question. And yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have a great, wonderful rest of your day, guys. And sleep if it's nighttime for you. I'll see you in the next one. Okay? Bye. Enjoy your food, Queen. Oh, please, tofu cheese favoritism, but not right now. My only favorite, I only act upon favoritism if it's Kai. I don't know why I was stuttering there.